Oh hi. Frankfurt am Main, the largest city of the state of Hesse and the fifth largest in Germany with the population and 732,000 people. As of 2015. This city is the center of the large region mother country Rhine-Main with the population in 5.6 million people, the second largest region of Germany. The city is located on an ancient crossing on the main river and is in the territory which was in the ancient time inhabited by Franks. From there is also a name of the city, a crossing of Franks. Frankfurt is considered world alpha city and is the center of commerce, culture, education, tourism and the transport hub. There are an European Central Bank, Federal Bank of Germany, the Frankfurt Exchange and the Frankfurt Fair. The Frankfurt Airport. One of the most loaded international airports, and the central station and the Frankfurt automobile outcome, one of the most loaded thoroughfares of continental Europe. Frankfurt, only of the cities of Germany, entered the 20 of the alpha cities of the world. In Frankfurt the headquarters of the American Army in Germany was located, and the city after the end of World War II was in the American zone of occupation. According to a research of the company Mercer Human Resource Consulting, Frankfurt is the second city of Germany and the 48th in the world on life cost level. In 2011 Frankfurt am Main was recognized as the criminal capital of Germany. However, it is necessary to consider that statistics included smuggling which is revealed at the Frankfurt airport. In Germany there are two cities with the name Frankfurt. Frankfurt am Main, State of Hesse, and Frankfurt an der Oder, Brandenburg. In Germany in the daily speech, by default, under the name of Frankfurt understand Frankfurt am Main. Frankfurt was financial center of Germany throughout centuries and is the place of concentration of large banks and broker offices. The economy of Frankfurt is based on three whales: finance, transport and exhibition activity. The Frankfurt Exchange, the largest in Germany and one of the most significant in world economy. In Frankfurt the European Central Bank is located, which defines monetary policy of the countries of the Eurozone and Federal Bank of Germany. About 300 national and foreign banks have representations in Frankfurt, including the headquarters of the largest German banks. Frankfurt has magnificent transport infrastructure, and the international airport of the city represents one of the major European transport hubs. Good location of the airport in heart of Europe, and transport availability by air, the railroad and the car do the airport of Frankfurt especially attractive. In Frankfurt on an annual basis there take place the largest exhibitions of various subjects. Internationale Automobilausstellung, the largest world exhibition in the field of automotive industry. Frankfurter Buchmesse, the largest world book exhibition. Musikmesse, the largest world musical exhibition, also takes place an exhibition on SV-Tuberbucker. Frankfurt is cultural and scientific center in which Goethe's University, a set of the museums and two large botanical gardens, the Tropical Garden D and the Botanical Garden of the University of Goethe are located. Frankfurt is one of three cities of the European Union with a significant amount of skyscrapers, with 13 skyscrapers. The building, over 150 meters high. As of the beginning of 2016, Frankfurt is in the third place after Paris, with suburbs, and London, in which on 16 skyscrapers. In Frankfurt there are highest skyscrapers in Germany, buildings of Commerzbank, the Frankfurt Exhibition, and many others. The Roman settlements near Weimar approximately appeared in the 1st century and even find artifacts of that era now. There is an assumption that the name of the city district of Bonhams comes from Latin bona mansion, a good hold, and the district of Nida was the Roman civil capital. The name Frankfurt am Main comes from the word Frankonifert, the German tribe of Franks. The German word Furt designates the shallow place on the river, suitable for fording. The first mention of Frankfurt belongs to 794, when Charles the Great began creation of the empire and called the Frankfurt Cathedral, though Alemanna and Franks inhabited this area long ago. Frankfurt played an important role in the Sacred Roman Empire. The German kings and emperors, since 885, were elected in Frankfurt and were crowned in Aachen. Since 1562, kings and emperors began to be crowned in Frankfurt, and crowned by the first in Frankfurt king became Maximilian II. Franz II, crowned in 1792 on July 14 in anniversary of the Bastille Day, became the last governor of the Sacred Roman Empire. His elections and a crowning took place in the Cathedral of Frankfurt, better known as Imperial Cathedral. The first mention of the Frankfurt Fair belongs to 1150. In 1240, the Emperor Frederick II granted the imperial privileges to her visitors, meaning that they are under protection of the empire. The Frankfurt Fair got the considerable weight, whereas the similar exhibition in the French Boker gave in about 1380. The book fair takes place in Frankfurt since 1478. In 1372, Frankfurt received the status of the imperial city and began to submit directly to the emperor, but not local governors and deputies. During 30 Years' War, Frankfurt kept a neutrality, but suffered from epidemic of bubonic plague, which distribution was promoted by flows of refugees. Upon termination of war, the city returned to the former welfare. During Napoleonic Wars, the city was repeatedly occupied by the French troops. Nevertheless, the city remained free up to crash of the Sacred Roman Empire in 1805/06. In 1806, the city becomes a part of the Principality Aschaffenburg, of which the Prince Bishop Karl Theodor Anton Maria von Dalberg was at the head. It meant that the city was a part of the Rhine Confederation. In 1810, Dalberg accepted a title of the Grand Duke of Frankfurt. Napoleon expected to make the adopted son Yevgeny de Beauharnais, who by then was already carrying Prince Venetsai's title. Prince Venetsai, again, established right of primogeniture in Italy. The Grand Duke of Frankfurt after death Dalberg. The Great Duchy existed not for long, from 1810 to 1813, and exactly until then, when the Anglo-German allies put an end to Napoleonic board in Central Europe. Dalberg renounced a title in favor of Yevgeny, and the procedure of renunciation became purely symbolical gesture, because after defeat of Napoleonic troops, Frankfurt was occupied by troops of allies and Yevgeny couldn't use the privileges at the new mode. After Napoleon's falling and his renunciation, the Vienna Congress, during which the map of Europe was remade, took place. The Great Duchy Frankfurt stopped the existence, and Frankfurt joined again formed German Confederation as the free city with the seat in the Bundestag. As a part of the German Confederation, Frankfurt existed till 1848 quite quietly. Only on April 3, 1833 there was a so-called Frankfurt attempt. After the Revolution of 1848, Frankfurt became the city in which the first German parliament elected on democratic principles was located. Holzkirche became the place of a session of parliament. The newly established public institute came to grief in 1849 when the Prussian king said that he will accept a crown from common people. For a year of existence, the assembly managed to develop for the unified Germany which the Prussian king had to head the uniform constitution. Frankfurt lost the independence after Austro-Prussian War, following the results of which Prussia in 1866 annexed several small states, among which there was also a free city of Frankfurt. The Prussian administration included Frankfurt in structure of the province of Hesse-Nassau. The former independent cities of Borkheim and Bockenheim were attached in 1890. In 1914, citizens of Frankfurt founded University of Frankfurt, which received later a name of Johann Wolfgang Goethe. This university is the only university in Germany which was organized at the initiative of citizens, and now is one of the largest universities of Germany. Frankfurt was occupied by the French troops which were sent in Germany in response to the Ruhr Revolt, during the period from April 6 to May 17, 1920. The French officials said that Germany violated paragraphs from the Treaty of Versailles, the 42nd on the 44th, which defined an order of demilitarization of area of the Ruhr Basin. In 1924, Ludwig Landmann becomes the first Jewish mayor of Frankfurt. He also played a noticeable role in expansion of the city. With coming to power of Nazis, a synagogue of Frankfurt were destroyed. Frankfurt was exposed to frequent bombings of Allies by aircraft during World War II. As a result of aviation raids, about 5,500 citizens died, and one of the best-known historic districts of the city, Weimar, was destroyed. During the post-war period, only the part of ancient buildings was restored. The historical appearance of the city was lost. After the end of World War II, Frankfurt becomes a part of again formed state of Hesse, which entered the former state of Hesse with the center in Darmstadt and the former Prussian province of Kyrgyzstan. The city was located in the American zone of occupation of Germany. There was headquarters of the military governor of the American zone of occupation. 1945-1949. And the special representative in the American zone of occupation. Hickig. 1949-1952. The headquarters was located in the territory of unaffected bombings of buildings of Farben concern. Frankfurt was considered as future capital of Germany, and for this purpose in the city the new building for placement of parliament, which was never used for designated purpose, was built. Since 1949 the building was used by Hessischer Rundfunk radio station. The first post-war Chancellor Konrad Adenauer made a choice for the town of Bonn, mostly because the city was located near the hometown of Adenauer. Other politicians also opposed the choice of Frankfurt as the new capital, referring to the fact that the favor of the government in one of the largest and most influential cities of Germany, the former large center of the Sacred Roman Empire, could lead to blocking of initiatives of association with East Germany subsequently. During the 70s, the city created one of the most effective transport systems in Europe. This system includes the suburban electric train, which connects the city with near suburbs, and the underground electric train. For the post-war period, Frankfurt took the place of the financial and transport capital of Germany again. As the visible international financial and shopping center, Frankfurt is the city with the multinational population. Besides the ethnic German majority in the city, there are communities from Turkey, Italy, Croatia, Serbia, Poland, Greece, Morocco, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Spain, Portugal, France, Japan, the USA, Austria, India, Great Britain, Romania, Afghanistan, Russia, Bulgaria, Lebanon and China. It is considered that the Europe's second largest Korean community and the community of Tamils, largest in Germany, lives in Frankfurt. Throughout long time, Frankfurt remained mainly Protestant city, but in the 19th century the number of the citizens professing Catholicism grew up. In 2006, Catholics and Protestants remained the largest religious communities of the city. 24.6% and 22.5% respectively. However, the Catholic and Protestant communities lose popularity, and on them, combined, less than a half of urban population is necessary. According to data of the Central Jewish Office of Germany, 7,300 citizens Judaism live in the city, that do the Jewish community of Frankfurt third largest after Berlin and Munich. The city is located on both coasts of Maine in the southwest of Germany. In the southern part of the city there is the Frankfurt City Forest, which is the largest forest area within the city in Germany. The downtown lies on the northern riverbank, Maine. In the west the city borders on the region of Maine-Taunus. In the northwest with the area the Top-Taunus. In the north with Vetera. In the northeast with the area Main-Kinzig. In the southeast with the region of Offenbach. In the southwest with the region of Groß-Gerau. The city is divided into 46 administrative quarters, which in turn are divided into 118 city districts. German of Stadtbezirk. The largest city quarter is Sachsenhausen. The majority of administrative quarters represent the next suburbs, and the former certain cities like Hixt. Some districts of the city, such as Nordend, rose during rapid growth of an era of Agrarindustrie, whereas others were created on the basis of settlements, to earlier belonging other areas. Dornbusch. Administrative quarters are united in 16 districts, each of which has the committee with the chairman at the head. To the middle of the 19th century in Enstedt, Bafkofsviertel, L. Dutleuitviertel, Alice, Westend, Nordend, Ostend. Riederwald entered the territory of the modern city Nordend. Dornbusch, Altstadt, Benenschit, German, Sachsenhausen. Nearby and before districts independent of the city were attached to the city after 1887. The oldest measurements of temperature in Frankfurt were made in December 1695 and entered in Achilles August's Chronicle of von Lersner. Since 1826, continuous meteorological observations are conducted. In Frankfurt, there are several meteorological stations of the German Meteorological Service, including one in the airport. The city of Frankfurt and the area Rhine-Main, located in a northern part of the top valley of Rhine, are in one of the warmest regions of Germany. Average annual temperature in Frankfurt -10.5 C. Long-term average temperature for the reference period from 1981 to 2010. It depends: in Berlin -9.9 C, in Hamburg -9.4 C, Munich -8.7 C. Therefore climate in Frankfurt quite soft. In the winter, average maximum daytime temperature in January is about 4.3 C, and average nighttime minimum temperature -1.0 C. The reference period from 1981 to 2010. In January, snow, on average, keeps about 7 days, and height of snow cover seldom exceeds 10 centimeters. In the summer, average temperature is 19.1 C, and in the winter, on average 2.2 C. Record values were observed in January 1940, 23. 8 C, and in August 2003 plus 38.7 C. Average annual amount of precipitation -629. Most of all rainfall drops out in July, on average 65, least of all in February, about 41. Sites: St. Bartholomew's Cathedral. The main church of the city, in Gothic style, is constructed in the 14th, 15th centuries on the place of church of the period Merovingian. Since 1356, governors of the Sacred Roman Empire of the German nation were elected in this church, and during the period from 1562 to 1792 in cathedral emperors were crowned. Citizens began to call St. Bartholomew Cathedralum's Cathedral in the 18th century, though he was never used as the residence of the bishop. The cathedral was destroyed as a result of the fire in 1876 and recreated in his modern look. Height of cathedral is 95 meters. St. Paul's Church. The national monument to Germany, having huge value for the history of modern political system, as in this church the first parliament elected in the democratic way in 1848 was placed. Construction of Protestant church began in 1789, and was completed in 1833. The church gained historical importance in revolutionary 1848/1849 when in her walls the Frankfurt National Assembly, German of Frankfurter Nationalversammlung, gathered for development of the Constitution of the Unified Germany. The National Assembly in Frankfurt and the constitution drafted by him failed because monarchs of Prussia and Austria didn't wish to reconcile to reduction of the power, and in 1849 Prussian troops completed a democratic experiment and the German parliament was dismissed. After dissolution of parliament and church services renewed. During World War II the church was partially destroyed, especially internal interior. The church was completely restored after war, but is used not for church services, and serves as the platform for various exhibitions and actions. The Old Opera was constructed in 1880 by the architect Richard Luck and became one of the main opera halls of Germany up to World War II. During war the building was strongly damaged and remained in the destroyed state until the end of the 1970th years, and for fun was called the finest ruins of Germany. The mayor Rudi Arndt, who in the 1968 years urged to blow up the building, was one of initiators of demolition of the building of the Old Opera. For the initiatives of demolition of the building I got the nickname Dynamite Rudy. Later Arndt said that his initiatives of demolition of the building were not seriously. Under pressure of the public, the building was restored and is opened in 1981. Since that moment, opera functions as the concert hall, whereas opera performances are held in the building of the new opera. On a pediment of the Old Opera, there is an inscription, Dem Wahren Schönen Guten. To the truth, magnificence, good. The new opera is one of front lines in Germany and one of the most important European opera halls. In 2003 I was recognized as the German magazine Opernwelt in 1995 the best opera theater of the year. Church of Street. Catherine is the largest Lutheran church of Frankfurt and is located in the downtown at the beginning of Sale Street. The building of the guardroom. The building in Baroque style built in 1730 for a prison. The building gave the name to the square and the traffic intersection surrounding him under her. Now the building is located at the end of Sale Street, one of the busiest shopping streets of Frankfurt. Sale. The main shopping street of the city and the most crowded street of Germany. This street represents the pedestrian zone limited at the edges to two large shopping centers, Hauptwalk from the west and Constablerwalk from the east. Sale, the second in the rating of the most expensive spaces of rent of rooms for shops in Germany after the Munich Kaufengerstrasse. During the pre-Christmas sales, Sale turns into one of the largest and oldest Christmas markets of Germany. Reimer means romance. 9 buildings in which the municipality was placed were redeemed by city council in 1405 from family of the prosperous dealer. After purchase, the average building which became main thing was connected transitions to other buildings of a complex. On the top floor Kaisersaal. The Imperial Hall, where again crowned emperors held banquets, settles down. The complex of buildings was partially destroyed during World War II and restored later. Now the complex of buildings is located at Romerberg Square. Municipalnia Square. Frankfurtenstraße, the building in style of an early modernist style. It is consecrated in 1929. Grossmarkt, the former city wholesale market constructed during the period from 1926 to 1929. The complex of buildings of the Eggfarben Company was under construction from 1928 to 1930. Now in buildings of a complex Goethe's University is located. Goethe's House Museum, the house where in 1749 Johann Wolfgang Goethe was born. It is restored in an original form. 1947-1951. After partial destruction during World War II. The Museum of Applied Arts, the building is built on the project of the designer Richard Mayer in 1985. Frankfurt, only of the German cities, having a large number of skyscrapers. In total in the city 13 high-rise buildings are located. Height not less than 150 meters. The only building of this sort outside Frankfurt is located in Bonn. 163 meters. The majority of high-rise buildings of Frankfurt are located in the western part. The financial district of the city. Commerzbank of Termes, 259 m. The headquarters of Commerzbank. Messeturm, 257 m. Westenstra. E1, a skyscraper 208 m high, the headquarters of the third largest bank of Germany, DZ Bank. Main tower, 200 meters. The headquarters of Bank of the State of Hesse. The headquarters of the European Central Bank, the complex from two buildings 165 and 184 m high, is open in 2015. Tower 185, the building 204 m high, the headquarters of Regional Office of PricewaterhouseCoopers. Trianon, the building 186 m high, the DekaBank Bank headquarters. Openturm D, the building 170 meters high, the headquarters of OBS Germany. Silver Tower, 166 meters. The headquarters of Dresdner Bank. Bureau Center Plaza, 159 meters. Deutsche Bank of Iron 2, a tower 155 m high, Deutsche Bank headquarters. Skyper, 154 meters. Frankfurt, the telecommunication tower known as Frankfurt TV Tower TV, is the most high-rise building of the city. 337.5 meters. It remained open for public access till 1999 as entertainment center. Henninger Turm. The granary 120 meters high, built in 1959-1961 and which is in possession of Henninger Brewery. The building has two rotating restaurants at the height of 101 and 106 meters, respectively, and the open survey area located at the height of 110 meters. Public access to the building is stopped since October 2002 because it was planned to demolish a tower. However, plans were revised, and now the tower is supposed to be remade to the residential building. Diaturm. Bashnigetia is constructed completely of 43 meters. Located on the northern outskirts of the city forest of Frankfurt in Sachsenhausen, is one of 5 high-rise wooden buildings of Germany. The building was built in 1931 and still remains the favorite venue of leisure by locals. The main festival of the city is the Festival of the Embankment of the Museums. The festival is the largest cultural event of Germany, which annually attracts more than 3 million tourists. The festival begins at the end of August and takes place on both coasts of Maine. On embankments of Maine, more than 20 various museums which during a festival work late hours are located. For entertainment of visitors, additional attractions and places of trade are mounted. The oldest national holiday of Frankfurt is the Ceramics Festival, which takes place 2 times a year, for Easter and at the end of September in east part of the city. The first mentions of a holiday is about an annual fair treat the 14th century, which turned into cheerful tradition over time. The word dip on the Gießen dialect means pot or bank, which is practically not understood in other Germany. The name of a festival prevails the name from initial purpose of a fair, trade in pottery. Days of the Wood. The event celebrated by residents of Frankfurt as a national holiday, day of a unification with the city. The holiday is celebrated in the city forest for 4 days after the Trinity Sunday. Festival of Skyscrapers. A holiday, unique for Germany, which is spent on an irregular basis. The last time passed in 2007. For today, the majority of skyscrapers in the business center of the city come off for public access, and more than 1 million people used in 2007 to see the city from height of bird's flight. During the last Festival of Skyscrapers, organizers organized a laser show, fireworks and various parachuting, base jumping competitions. Next time the festival is planned to be held in 2013. Sounds of Frankfurt. The musical festival, which it is regular since 1994 for 2004, is held in the city. During a holiday on the open areas, collectives of various musical directions acted and attracted about 500,000 tourists a year. Most of the museums of Frankfurt are located on main embankment near Sachsenhausen. South side are in the Old Town. North side. Because of high concentration of the museums, the area is often called the embankment of the museums. On south side of the river, 13 museums are located, including German Museum of Architecture, Museum of the German Cinematography, Museum of an Icon, Museum of a Sculpture Liebighaus, Museum of Applied Art, Regional Art Gallery, Museum of Communications, Ethnological Museum of World Cultures, Stadilewski Art Institute, Schumann K Street, on which the museums are located, is partially blocked for traffic on Saturdays because of carrying out the flea market, largest in Frankfurt. On north side of the river are located Archaeological Museum, Jewish Museum of Frankfurt, Historical Museum. The museums located not on the embankment. Museum of Modern Art, Schern Gallery, Art Museum. Other important museums located in the area: West End, Senckenbergsky Museum, Godeshaus Museum. Thanks to the situation on crossing of the major tradeways of Europe, Frankfurt am Main passed in Germany for a paradise for gourmets. In a refined gastronomy of Frankfurt am Main, import food were applied. The cuisine of Frankfurt am Main came under noticeable French influence and holds in Hesse a specific place. Frankfurt, not only the bank, but also German sausage mother country. In the city, the headquarters of the German Union of Butchers is placed, and each 3 years there takes place the world's largest international exhibition of the meat industry of IFA. Carry 2 specialist programs of the Frankfurt Kitchen. Frankfurt sausages, beef sausages, to Handkäse, Frankfurt ribs, Frankfurt green sauce, Bettmanchik, Christmas marzipan cookies. The Frankfurt gingerbreads, ancient Christmas cookies from marzipan. Frankfurt reap, apple wine, club music, roots of club music, techno, are traced in Germany and in particular in Frankfurt. In the early 90s local G like Sven Fett and Dad began to play in rigid, geek style of an aside house, which gained great popularity subsequently. The nightclub of Omen became one of the most important places of gathering of admirers of a trance. The collectives which had a great influence on a genre, such as Jam and Spoon, Dance to Trance N, Oliver Lieb, Hard Fleur and sound recording labels, IQ and Hard House, were based in Frankfurt in the early 90s. The airport is located in 12 km from the downtown, has 4 runways and serves 265 directions in the non-feet mode. The Frankfurt airport is included into 10 the largest airports of the world and is the largest transit point of cargo transportation in Europe. The airport acts as a hub for the Condor Company and the main hub for the flagship of the German aircraft Lufthansa. Proceeding from load of the airport, it is estimated as the second or third in load airport of Europe, after the London Heathrow and the Parisian Charles de Gaulle. The passenger traffic of the airport in 2009 made 50.9 million people. To the airport from the city it is possible to get by the car, the bus, the electric train. The airport has 2 railway stations, the regional message and distant following. By train the regional message, the suburban electric train. It is possible to reach the city on routes of S and S which go in the directions, the main station, Offenbach-Ost, Hanau. Time and way to the city by electric train takes 10-15 minutes. In Germany there is an airport with the similar name, Frankfurt-Con, which, however, is located in 125 km between the towns of Hang and Lotzenhausen. To this airport it is possible to get only by the car or the bus so far. Each hour from the main station buses in the direction of the airport Frankfurt-Con depart. Time and way -1 hour 45 minutes. In 2007 about 4 million people used services of the airport, which is basic for the companies of discounters, such as Ryanair. In the southeast of the airport of Frankfurt, near the town of Egelsbeck, the Frankfurt-Egelsbeck Airport, which specializes in private and sports aircraft, is located. Movement on roads in the downtown is usually complicated because of a dense car traffic. Some territories in the city, in particular adjacent to Tsale, are only pedestrian, on which car traffic is forbidden. Frankfurt is a transport hub of a system of autobahns of Germany. The large road outcome is near the airport in the place of crossing of automobile highways. Cologne, the Wurzburg, and A. Basel, Hanover. With a daily capacity about 335,000 cars a day, the road outcome of Frankfurt is the most loaded European outcome. Autobahn A connects Frankfurt to Wiesbaden. in the west of and from Fulda. In the east, Autobahn A begins in the south in Darmstadt, passes through east part of Frankfurt and comes to an end in the north in Bad Homburg. The main station of Frankfurt, the largest railway station of Germany. Along with the main station of Munich and Hamburg, the station serves about 450,000 passengers daily and shares with them the first place. This station is located near the business center of the city and near the venue of the Frankfurt Fair. Serves as long-distance trains, intercity, ICE, and trains of the suburban message. Through the station there pass all trains of a system of suburban electric trains, S-Bahn, 2 lines of the subway, U-Bahn, several trams and buses. Suburban and city routes are integrated into the uniform system of public transport Rhein-Main-Verkehrsverbund, the second largest transport system in the world. The railway station of long-distance trains of the airport of Frankfurt connects the airport to the main railway lines through a branch Cologne, Frankfurt. The station of trains of the suburban message serves trains of the suburban message. The third largest station of Frankfurt is located near Sachsenhausen. The city has 2 underground railway systems, the subway, U-Bahn, and suburban electric trains, S-Bahn, and the developed tram system. 9 lines of the suburban message connect Frankfurt to the region Rhein-Main. The time interval between trains on the majority of routes makes 15 minutes. All lines, except for S, pass through a city underground tunnel and serve the Ostinstra stations: Konstablerweg, Haupteck, Tonnensenlich, and Hauptbahnhof. It is possible to reach by trains of the S-Bahn system the Frankfurt Exhibition, SS, the airport, SS, stadium, SS, and the nearby cities Wiesbaden, Mainz, Darmstadt, Russellschema, Hanau, Offenbach, Bad Homburg, Kronberg. The system of the subway, U-Bahn, includes 9 lines servicing the city center and the largest suburbs. The minimum time between trains is 2.5 minutes. The city system of the tram message has 9 lines. The time interval between trams makes 10 minutes. Some pieces of a way are served by 2 routes and reduce the expectation period up to 5 minutes at rush hours. The tram message serves more stops than the subway and suburban electric trains. Buses go from 1:30 to 3:30 in the morning at night and supplement work of trams and subway. Stopping stations of the taxi are located at the majority of stops of the subway, suburban electric trains and the main intersections of the city. The Deutsche Bahn company provides service in lease of bicycles for citizens and city visitors. Rental centers of bicycles can be found at stops of railway transport and at the main intersections of the city. For prevention of theft and improvement of identification, bicycles are painted in silvery red color. The price of day lease of the bicycle -€15. In the downtown, the public can use service of triches which use tricycles with the attached cabin for passengers. In the city, all conditions for cyclists are created, and on many central city streets cyclists have a priority of the movement before motor transport. For maintenance of the bicycle movement, the city portal is created, on which it is possible to obtain necessary information concerning the organization of the bicycle movement within the city. Every first Saturday of month, bicycle arrival, the critical wait, which start begins at the building of the Old Opera at 2:00 p.m. is carried out. Economy and business. Frankfurt is among the largest European financial centers. It agrees to the research conducted in 2007. The Cushman and Wakefield companies in Frankfurt, along with Paris and London, the greatest number of the international companies is located. On the basis of the data obtained and processed by the University of Liverpool in 2001, Frankfurt was the richest European city on an indicator of the gross product made by the city, and after Frankfurt there are Karlsruhe, Paris and Munich. The consulting company Mercer in 2007 appropriated to Frankfurt the 7th place in the world on quality of life. Except Frankfurt, the list included one more German city, Düsseldorf, the 6th place of rating. In Germany, Frankfurt is known as the Bank City. As of the end of 2012, 5 of 10 largest German banks had the headquarters, including the Big Three, here Deutsche Bank, Commerzbank and DZ Bank. Dresden Bank, Kvabaf. The European Central Bank, responsible for monetary policy and financial control of Eurozone, is located in a business part of the city. Deutsche Federal Bank, integrated into the European system of the central banks, is also located in Frankfurt. In the city, one of the largest European exchanges, the Frankfurt Stock Exchange belonging to Deutsche Börse AG Corporation, is located. Frankfurt takes the 2nd position in Europe in exchange tables of ranks, after London, and through the exchange of the city there pass over 90% of a turnover of the German securities market. City exhibition traditions have an old story, and the first mention of fairs belongs to the 12th century, and today in Frankfurt hold large exhibition events, the Frankfurt Motor Show, an exhibition of the automobile industry, the Frankfurt Book Fair, Ambiente, an exhibition of consumer goods, Frankfurt Music Messe, a musical exhibition, ACHEMA, a chemical and pharmaceutical exhibition, and others, Paper World, Frist Mass World, Beauty World, Tendance Lifestyle, Light and Building. In this city about 570 agencies specializing in advertising and about 270 companies specializing in public relations are located. According to a research of the Focus magazine, November 2007, the representations in the city have 48 largest advertising agencies, including such as McCann Erickson, Saatchi & Saatchi, Schute, Publicis. Auditor services. In the city, offices of Big Four, Deloitte Touche Tohmatsu are represented, Tukimem. The European headquarters by PricewaterhouseCoopers, Bune. Ernst & Young has office in the suburb of Eschborn. Administrative consulting. A large number of the firms specializing in administrative consulting have the representations in the city: Accenture, Arthur D. Little, McKinsey & Company, Boston Consulting Group, Booz & Company, Oliver Wyman, Bearing Point, Capgemini, Bain & Company and Roland Berger Strategy Consultants.
Frankfurt, 1 lawyer on 99 inhabitants, has one of the largest concentration of lawyers in Germany with an indicator. Many major international law firms have offices in Frankfurt: Allen & Overy, Baker & McKenzie, Clifford Chance, Cleary Gottlieb Steen & Hamilton, Debevoise & Plimpton, Law Piper, Freshfields Bruckhaus Derringer, Hogan Lovells, Jones Day, Linklaters, Mayer Brown, Milbank, Tweed, Hadley & McCloy, Norton Rose, Shearman & Sterling, Skadden, Arps, Slate, Marr & Flom, Taylor Wessing, White & Case.
With 922 jobs on 1,000 inhabitants, Frankfurt is the largest labor market in Germany. The total number of the jobs located in the city makes about 663,000 inhabitants, numbering urban population. It means active use as workers of inhabitants of suburbs. In the working days and Saturday within the city there are about 1 million people. The main cities from which people go for work to the city: Bad Homburg, Königstein, German Königstein im Taunus, Kronberg, Bad Soden. As of 2008, the city had the highest crime rate in Germany. Per 100,000 inhabitants, 3 murders are necessary, and the annual crime rate is 15967. The International Airport of Frankfurt, the largest center of jobs in Germany. Frankfurt is the platform for the chemical, software industry and the contact centers. Development departments of the railway company Deutsche Bahn are located in the region of Gallus. Because of finding of the headquarters of the Highest AG company. Now, Aventis. Frankfurt was called World Drug Store. In the city as of September 1, 2011, 181 drugstores are registered. An industrial complex of the Aventis company. Before Highest. In Frankfurt, one of 3 largest European centers of pharmaceutical and chemical industry.
In Frankfurt, large German industrial associations are located.
Association of Chemical Industry, German Association of Mechanical Engineering and Construction Equipment, Association Electrotechnical, Electronic and Information Technologies. Association of the German Car Makers. The Union of the German Car Makers holds the meetings each 2 years, which coincide with the International Automobile Exhibition. To all other in Frankfurt, the headquarters of the German Association of Booksellers is located, which acts as the organizer of the large Buchmesse exhibition.
In the city, parent organizations of labor unions of the companies of Ismetal
and Bauhaus are located. The chief supplier of water and electricity for the region Rhine-Main is the Mainova AG company, which is in city property. Representative offices of the companies whose headquarters is in the city or its vicinities. German Football Association, Fiat, Nintendo, Maserati, Ferrari, Alfa Romeo, Lancia, Hyundai, Kia, Jaguar, Opel, Ferrero, Fior Solar. Real estate. Frankfurt has the concentration of house owners, largest in Germany.
It is promoted by existence of a large number of workers of the financial sphere and high appeal of the city to foreigners, which number reaches a quarter of all population of the city.
For these reasons, the real estate market of Frankfurt lives under other laws than other cities of the country. The real estate market in Germany sank during process of integration of West and East Germany, though in the large cities in the west of the country, such as Frankfurt, the real estate market rather brisk and attracts to itself buyers from the Middle East. In Frankfurt, the German National Library, the Supreme Court of the State of Hesse, Working Court of the State of Hesse and Police Academy is located. The fire department, founded in 1874, and voluntary fire department contain 8 stations.
Frankfurt was the location of Federal Disciplinary Court up to time of his dissolution in 2003.
The German office of the International Finance Corporation, which is a part of the World Bank, the European Committee on Insurance and Professional Pension Management, the European Insurance Control, have the headquarters in Frankfurt. In the city, 88 consulates are located. Only New York and Hamburg, from not capital cities, have the bigger number of consular establishments. Russia, China and Turkmenistan opened the consulates in Frankfurt. The Consulate General of the United States of America in Frankfurt, KM, is the largest American consulate in the world. In the city, 2 influential daily all-German newspapers are issued. Conservative by the Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung. It was founded in 1949 and has wide circulation abroad. It is daily delivered to 148 countries. Daily circulation of FAS is about 380,000 copies. Other influential newspaper, Frankfurter Rundschau, was founded in 1945 and has day circulation in 185,000 copies. In Frankfurt, the German headquarters of the news agency Reuters Group is located. In the city, magazines of various orientation are issued. Journal Frankfurt, the magazine devoted to secular events. The ecological direction is presented by the Ökotest magazine, which publishes materials of Green Party. Südwestdeutsche Rundfunkdienst, which began broadcasting in 1924, was the first city radio station. A successor of radio station is Hessischer Rundfunk, whose station Funkhaus am Dornbusch is an important component of radio and telecastings. Since August 1945, the American station American Forces Network broadcast from Frankfurt. Owing to reduction of the military contingent, I left the place of dislocation. Since October 2004, carries out broadcasting from the city of Mannheim. Education and researches. In Frankfurt, 2 universities and several specialized educational institutions are located. There are 2 business schools, school at the University of Koth and the Frankfurt School of Finance and Management. The oldest and famous higher educational institution of the city, the University of Johann Wolfgang Goethe, whose campuses are located in Bochum, Westend and Riedberg, and the University Hospital is located in Niederrade. The prestigious business school of the University of Goethe is located in Ostende, in the direction of administrative management. MBA. The number of foreign students reaches 70% of total number of trainees.
University of Frankfurt of Applied Sciences was created in 1971 as a result of reorganization of earlier existing educational institutions and offers training in various directions: art, natural sciences, engineering and law.
The School of Finance and Management is specialized educational institution for training of specialists for the banking sector, also known as the High Courses for Bank Economists. Campuses of school are located in Ostende, Ostende. Since 2001 the school offers specialization in economy and management. The city has the art school known as Schädelschule, who was founded in 1817 by Johann Friedrich Städel. In 1942 the school passed under jurisdiction of the city and is transformed to the public art school. In the city are located music school and musical conservatory of Haag, which was formed in 1878. The Philosophical and Theological Institute of St. Georgi, which was founded in 1950 and is in Sachsenhausen. 3 institutes entering into Max Planck Society: Institute of the European History and Max Planck's Law, Institute of Biophysics of Max Planck, Institute of Researches of a Brain of Max Planck. The Frankfurt Institute of the Advanced Researches, whose activity is supported from various institutional and private sources. Specializations of Institute: theoretical researches in the field of physics, chemistry, biology, neurosciences and information technologies. The Romance-German Commission, the German Archaeological Institute, on a research of prehistoric archaeology in Germany and Europe. The Ergerk Library contains about 130,000 books and is one of the largest specialized archaeological libraries in the world. Sport. In Frankfurt various teams and clubs settle down. Eintracht Frankfurt Soccer, FF Frankfurt Soccer, FC Frankfurt Soccer, Frankfurter FE Germania 1894 Soccer, Rot-Weiss Frankfurt Soccer, Frankfurt Lions Hockey, Deutsche Bank Skyliners Basketball, Frankfurt Universe American Soccer. Former city teams: Bockenheimer FE 1899 Soccer, Frankfurt Galaxy American Soccer. In the city there take place classical cycle races, an annual marathon, the Frankfurt Marathon, and the competition's Ironman European Championships. Famous natives and inhabitants. In Frankfurt am Main many people entered the name in world and German history were born or worked. And science first of all are known. The father of nuclear physics, the Nobel Prize laureate Otto Gunn, the Nobel Prize laureate on economy Robert Ullmann, one of the largest German poets of the generation, the winner of a number of prestigious awards. Oscar Pasteur, one of the best-known European thinkers of the 19th century. Arthur Schopenhauer, the most famous German psychiatrist and the neurologist who gave the description of senile dementia. Alois Alzheimer. The German musician Thilo Wolff, the first female entomologist Maria Sibylla Merian, and many others. The best-known native of Frankfurt, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, 1749–1832, is a poet, the playwright, the scientist, the statesman. Here young Werther's sufferings were written to them, work on Faust is begun. Here too were born Erich Fromm and Frank Trécuil, Alice Merton, Hans Zimmer, Martin Lawrence. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.